Hi everyone, this is Derek Comgore from Pivotal's data engineering team. Thank you for your time. In today's follow-up demonstration, I'm going to be showing you Datometry Hyper-Q for Pivotal Greenplum database, running, however, directly from our recent Amazon Web Services Marketplace offering. So here's the home page, the landing page of the new offering. This is for true production grade Greenplum database clusters in AWS. And while we always supported running Pivotal Greenplum in Amazon Web Services, we now have the marketplace experience. So if you're not familiar, what the marketplace experience brings to you is a one-click like deployment experience. So when you click on continue here, you'll fill out a very simple set of fields for a CloudFormation stack, and I'll get to that in a moment. You'll click the big red button essentially, and out comes at the end of this provisioning process a fully functioning, living and breathing Greenplum database running in Amazon Web Services. So the marketplace is pretty compelling, especially for those users that don't want to spend the extra cycles on a customer manual installation. They simply want to get up and going with the best of breed starter configuration. And what this GA marketplace offering brings to you is it's leveraging Amazon Web Services CloudFormation technology. So if you're not familiar with CloudFormation, I encourage you to research it and learn a little bit about it. Basically, it's expressing AWS infrastructure as code. And once you provision via this marketplace, you provision the cluster, you will see a fully provisioned stack of infrastructure, which I'm showing you now here. And you'll see this create complete status for the stack that you've deployed. Again, the stack is synonymous to the marketplace itself as far as the invocation of it. And here is all the infrastructure and details that were provisioned. You can scroll through all these events and see everything that's been successfully provisioned. If there are any errors, it will roll the CloudFormation stack back, so it fully completes or fully exits. And with that, I'm going to now show you the actual living and breathing cluster. So here it is. It's very simple to understand what each node is doing in the architecture. So MDW is our master, SMDW is our standby, and we have two workers, respectively 1 and 2. So we have a four node cluster. I have only done 2 things to this cluster since the initial provisioning through the marketplace. I have installed, configured, and started up Datometry Hyper-Q for Pivotal Data Suite. And secondly, I have created and instantiated a new demo database on this cluster. Now, the demo database is to emulate a customer's existing Teradata database. The value proposition of Datometry Hyper-Q is modernizing your data warehouse. And so you can take all of the applications in a Teradata, for example, landscape, and you can point them at a new piece of software, which is the Datometry Hyper-Q for Pivotal offering, and it will in real time virtualize or translate, if you will, the queries from what a Teradata client thinks it's talking to Teradata to, in fact, a backing Greenplum database. So I think you're going to find this demonstration pretty intriguing and interesting as we wrap it up here. So that is the cluster that I'm going to be using. I'm going to now minimize the browser. And over here on the right-hand side, I have Teradata's Teradata Express virtual machine. So this is virtual machine Teradata ships to both its existing and prospective customers. It's used to evaluate the full-blown Teradata database in a nice single VM environment. I have downloaded this machine, started it up, and the only thing I have done is run the terminal, which I'll just go ahead and close it out and start it up again. So here's the terminal. And I will type a command called btech. So btech is Teradata's native CLI. In a Greenplum database world, our equivalent would be pSQL, if you're familiar with Greenplum database. So this is their own shipping and native command line interface. I'm now going to issue a .logon command, and I'm going to go back and get the IP address of the master, which is right here. And so while I'm doing this, in a evaluation scenario, we can, and we do recommend installing Datometry Hyper-Q on the Greenplum master in an eval or POC like environment, just like this demo environment today. And a production environment, you would actually want to stand that up on an edge node for production use cases. But again, this is a demo, so we're running on the master today. I'm going to authenticate to Teradata, or what it thinks is Teradata, using the GP admin account. Prompts me for the password. And we just successfully authenticated to what the CLI believes is Teradata database, when in fact it is actually, as you know, Greenplum. So the next set of steps I'm going to do here is fire off a collection of queries. If you've seen my prior Datometry Hyper-Q for Pivotal Data Suite demos, this part of this process is going to look very familiar to you. The goal of this step is to demonstrate both ANSI as well as Teradata proprietary syntax compatibility. So the first 5 queries are TPCDS. These are standard queries. I did not write them. They're just stock TPCDS queries. And then the last 3 queries are Teradata specific syntax I have written, simply again to show that we can also support Teradata proprietary syntax. So let's start going through these one after another. I'm going to copy and paste, and I'll start running these queries. Now, some of these queries spit out result sets that are longer than others, so it may take a second to get all the results to feed through. So here's query 2. I'll start and get ready for query 3. Still, all right. So now query 3. Query 3 is being submitted. It's already returned. Query 4. And I hope as I'm doing this, you see the complexity of the queries being issued here. These are not just a couple lines of SQL. These are fairly complicated queries with a lot of syntax in them, SQL syntax rather. So this is the last of the TPCDSs. And there's the results. So clearly we can demonstrate ANSI compatibility with the new Datometry Hyper-Q for Pivotal Data Suite offering. Next up is proprietary syntax. This query will take a second or 2 longer than most to feed through all the results. Okay. No from clause. And in this third query's case, this is a top-end conditional logic. By the way, for completeness sake, the first query was a group by ordinal. We did a group by 1. And this third query is the top-end conditional. Okay, so now I've demonstrated both the ANSI compatibility as well as the Teradata proprietary SQL support. And not only did I demonstrate both of those through the Datometry Hyper-Q offering, but I also did it leveraging our brand new AWS production grade marketplace offering as well. So I hope you found this demonstration both interesting and intriguing. I think you're going to find a lot of great value out of both products I showed you here today, which is the Datometry Hyper-Q offering, as well as the Pivotal Greenplum database and Amazon Marketplace. A lot of customers are using all of the various public clouds today, especially in like a hybrid data architecture. And we continue to make the necessary investments to allow our customers to very easily and quickly spin up Pivotal Greenplum wherever and whenever they so choose. So again, thank you for your time today, and I hope you enjoyed the demonstration.